you and I learned while we were at CinemaCon. We saw the presentation for Superman and were a bit underwhelmed.
69.
I'm not talking about the footage. I'm talking about the presentation. They spent a lot of time on questions that were very junket questions that were kind of a waste of time. It felt like 30 minutes of the only thing that impressed me was David Cornsweet. I thought he was a better ambassador for the Superman movie than James Gunn. There was a lot of James Gunn pandering, and a lot of James Gunn is great. You know, I like James Gunn. I have faith. But the way they're promoting this movie, I think is the wrong way. They are, and look, and I'll say this. He's got a very good track record. Okay? The Guardians films and The Suicide Squad are, I mean, you can rank them differently, fine. I thought that critically successful and box office, with the exception of Suicide Squad, be dismissed because it was on Max and theaters at the same time, whatever. I think considered successes, but I get the feeling this movie may be in trouble. I reported a few weeks ago a reaction from a test screening where one person was wildly positive. A few days later, I talked to someone who had the opposite opinion, felt that the movie dropped you in the middle of like a second. It felt like the second or third film in a series, but you didn't see the first movie, so you were kind of lost. And I think that's what people are responding to. So one person who loved it, one person who was not so high on it. This cannot just be okay. It has to be a home run, not a double, not good. It has to be a home run or DC is in trouble. There was also confirmed while we were at CinemaCon, Alan, you were there. Mm-hmm. David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan talked about a 10-page dialogue scene in the middle of the movie where, as Lois Lane, she interviews Superman, who is dressed as Clark Kent, in their apartment. I don't know if they share an apartment. I don't know if whose apartment it is, an apartment. And she interviews him as Superman and what it means to be Superman. This scene, as described by both people who I talked to who saw the test screening, was interminably long. 10 minutes in the middle of the movie. Now, I'm not above there being some kind of a thoughtful look at what it means to be a hero, but both people confirmed this slowed the movie down. So, these reshoots, just to be clear, Alan, you know about this. Mm-hmm. All movies have some sort of, they call them pickup shots, but this, I was told they're doing reshoots. What are they fixing? So are they fixing the 10-minute scene? Are they moving some things around? Are they giving a preamble which would set up the world? Because I'll say this, we know that the Fantastic Four is not an origin story, but I know as a reader of the comics, the origin of the Fantastic Four is not one of I mean, they go up in a spaceship, they get exposed to cosmic rays, they get their powers and choose to use them for good. You could lengthen that story, but even like the first 50 issues of the Fantastic Four, they would show in a flashback, they would show the origin on like a one page. Sometimes they would do it in a panel to remind you, because there were new. Fantastic Four was a surprise hit as a comic. It was so different. So they would retell the origin in flashback almost in all of the first 10 issues of FF. I'm sure there are some actually commenters out there that know the real, but it was a lot of issues retold the origin in like a page that would catch up people that were new readers to the Fantastic Four? Are they adding a new opening? Because as we know now, the opening of the movie is where Superman crashes into the North Pole and Krypto comes to help. That's the beginning of the movie. So, what do these reshoots entail? Are they pickup shots? And look, movies all do pickup shots. It's the way it is. And I'll tell you this, quick aside. There's one of the greatest books ever written about film editing I read as a kid. It's called When the Shooting Stops, the Cutting Begins. It is written by the editor of the movie Annie Hall, and he worked with Woody Allen on all of his movies. Did you know that Annie Hall was originally 3 hours long? The first cut of that movie was 3 hours, and it focused on 3 different relationships that Alvy Singer, which is the name of Woody Allen's character in Annie Hall, played. So the 3 relationships with women he had, he dated. So it was 3 hours. Each hour was about that relationship with that woman. Well, the editor of the movie completely changed that film. There's a story where Woody Allen was like writing the monologue that he gives, that it kind of bookends the movie, like in the cab going over to record it. They recut the movie to focus on the one relationship with Annie Hall, and that movie went on to win Best Picture. And they chopped the other ones. Woody Allen's early comedies are famously 90 minutes. I'm saying movies in the cutting can change a lot. They can save a movie. So find that book, When the Shooting Stops, the Cutting Begins. Alan, maybe you could bring that up or look it up for me, or Lori can look it up. But all I'm saying is, I'm told reshoots are happening. I'm gonna say that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it makes you question. And I think for sure that 10-minute dialogue scene between Clark and Lois, that'll be on the Blu-ray in the deleted scenes. Alan, what do you think about Superman reshoots? And then we'll go to your comments.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Superman comes out in 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do reshoots and pickups 3 months before it releases in an effects-heavy movie says a lot.
It's completely doable, by the way.
Completely doable.
With today's technology.
You would think that if they could have saved it in editing, you wouldn't need pickup shots.
Right.
They can't save it in editing, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. Quite frankly, Superman is a marketing nightmare. This poster is probably the best marketing piece for Superman at the moment. Look, let's do a comparison. Force Awakens. They put out one trailer, and everyone freaked out and was excited to see a Force Awakens. And we know how that came out, how that turned out. The purpose of a trailer is to get you excited about a movie. The purpose of marketing and public relations is about getting you excited about a movie. And we are not excited. I am not excited about this movie. I'm hopeful. I'm anticipating it, this film, but I'm not excited about this film. I'm not anticipating that this is going to be a great film that's going to hit a home run. And quite frankly, a lot of it has to do with the marketing, because the marketing is not focused on selling this movie to me. This marketing just feels like that James Gunn he needs to respond to the internet and to all this internet criticism, when he should just make the movie the best movie he can, let it speak for itself, and then promote that. The thing I told you after seeing the crypto scene, which is the only thing we saw new from Superman, was I still don't know if this movie is going to be good or not, because that whole sequence features Superman not being Superman, Superman in a prone position.
Right.
I at least want 10 seconds of Superman doing something Superman would do, to say, yes, he gets it. And he didn't do it here. Again, you got to build momentum. This movie comes out in July. For the next 3 months, you need to build momentum to get people excited and get them in the seats to watch your movie. And he's doing everything but that. And this could be the greatest movie ever. Just as Force Awakens with its great teaser trailer, started the worst franchise ever.
Right.
We just don't know. Another movie, A Better Man. The marketing for A Better Man was awful. It showed the wrong parts of it. But deep down, that movie is an amazing movie with incredible story behind it, and all these facts. Is Superman gonna become a better man in terms of the fact that no one is excited about this movie when we need to, when it should be exciting just by the name Superman alone.
Yeah. Well, I'll end with this, and we'll go to your comments. My point in bringing up Ralph Rosenblum and that book about editing is you can dramatically change the quality of a movie. And it's Ralph Rosenblum and Robert Caren, a film editor's story. When the shooting stops, the cutting begins. They dramatically changed the movie Annie Hall from a 3-hour movie about 3 separate relationships, and they changed it incredibly dramatically, even recording like voiceover with Alvy Singer for the film, and they kind of made the movie in the cutting and changed it dramatically. It went on to win Best Picture and beat out Star Wars. And then Woody Allen didn't show up for the Oscars. But all I'm saying is you can dramatically improve the quality of a movie by looking at it differently, making big changes, and swing for the fences. It can happen. So, again, I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic, but see signs that there may be trouble.